Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it is 2016. We are in the future. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I actually filmed a look using this palette last week, and I accidentally deleted one of the files whenever I was uploading and editing and all that, or getting into the editing process. And I'm so pissed off at myself for that. I got my hair done and everything by Viviana. Sometimes she'll actually do my hair right before some of my actual videos. So yeah, I was so bummed that that happened, but I went ahead and just filmed another look because I really wanted to do a review on the palette. And it is a different eyeshadow look. So if you did want to see the colors that I use, I did post it on my Instagram with all the makeup details. So check it out. It's at Shelsea Sanchez. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So this is the actual box, and I purchased mine from Ulta, but I believe Sephora has it too. I had been eyeing it for a long time, well, for as long as it was out. And I had been following Gwen Stefani and saw that she was collaborating with Urban Decay, and I thought that was really awesome. I've always admired her makeup, and although it's probably her makeup artist that does it, I know that she had mentioned that in her other life she would want to be a makeup artist or something. So when I think of her, I always think of just super polished, edgy but classy makeup, the red lips, the winged out eyeliner. And so when I think of her, I just think of her just like a punky, edgy type vibe. And so today's look was a little bit more smoky than I normally do. So let's go ahead and open this. Basically, this looks like a palette with a bunch of empty pans. I love the packaging. I think it's really pretty. It's all gold in the back, and then in front right here it says UD for Urban Decay, and then Gwen Stefani has her name on it. Super cute, edgy palette, I would say. Inside, you will see that there is a range from neutrals to a pop of color to like some smoky colors here. I think this palette is really great because if you are someone that is super natural and you want to do something that's everyday, you have all your everyday colors here, and there's also shimmery and matte colors here. And then if you want to like go dramatic and smoke it out a bit, then you can, you know, you have all these colors right here. And then if you want to add some color, it has a few pops of color over here. So for people that aren't just wanting a neutral palette, or just a palette that has smoky colors, or just one that has color, this kind of has a little bit of it all without going overboard. It has 15 eyeshadows, and this palette retails for about $58. It is a little bit more on the pricier side, but it is a Gwen Stefani palette. I mean, you're not only paying for all the eyeshadow colors, you're paying because this is a Gwen Stefani inspired. Well, actually, she picked out all the colors, so from what I read. She collaborated with Urban Decay, so I think that it's totally worth it. I've always been a Gwen Stefani fan. I grew up listening to No Doubt, and I love just seeing her style. I mean, she makes pregnancy just look amazing. The color payoff is great. I have no complaints. I think it's pretty pigmented. So overall, I think it's a great palette. I wasn't going to go into so much detail, but I just wanted to share a little bit about the actual palette before we went on to the tutorial. So yeah, if you want to see this look, keep on watching.
Alrighty, so first I'm going to be using Scotch tape to make sure that my shadow is nice and precise. And to prime my eyelids, I am using the NYX Eye Shadow Base. I am just using a Morphe flat like shader brush to apply this all over the base of my lids. And I already applied concealer under my brow bone. So the first color that I'm going to be using, I'm going to use it as a transition color. And the name is called Stark. I'm using a blending brush from MAC. It's the number 224. And I'm just applying it to the crease and then blending it all in. Next, I'm applying the color Skimp with a Morphe G20 brush. And I'm just packing this on. So the first color that I'm going to use to darken up the crease is the color Zone. And it's a darker brown color. I'm using the same brush, the 224. And I'm just applying this to the crease above, or a little bit above the crease, in windshield wiper motions, and to blend it and diffuse it, I'm going to do circular motions. Now with my MAC 217 brush, in the outer V, I'm going to apply the color Punk, which is this gorgeous maroonish brown color. I'm applying it first there, and then I'm going to add a little bit to the crease and bring it all the way in. so I did apply more eyeshadow to the brush, and I'm going to do the same thing. And if you want to keep on intensifying it, you just keep on adding a little bit more. I always say this is just to add more layers instead of applying more eyeshadow to the actual brush and making a huge mess. Now with the color Steady, I'm using that G20 brush again, and I'm just applying this color all over the lid. Then with the color Blackout, it's a black eyeshadow, I'm just kind of creating a wing-like effect. Instead of doing winged eyeliner, I'm doing it more with the eyeshadow to create a little bit more of a smokier look. Next, in the center of my lid, I'm applying the shade Pop to really have a little bit more of a highlighted effect. And then I'm also going to use that same color on the brow bone to really highlight it. Now with my Morphe M411 brush, I am just kind of cutting the crease a little bit with that punk color again. I wanted to intensify it, but I wanted it to look a little bit more like a cut crease. So I also use this brush to really smoke out the under eyes, which you will see in a little bit, but it's like one of my new favorite brushes. Another one of my new favorite brushes is this foundation brush from Morphe. It's the E56 brush, and I'm using my favorite foundation, the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Pro Foundation. I love how buffed out this looks. It gives you a nice full coverage, but if you want to sheer it out a little bit, you can use a little bit of the Beauty Blender right afterwards just to, you know, make it a little bit more sheer. For my concealer today, I am using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I am using the shade Light. I'm applying it underneath my eyes. I'm just applying it slightly down the bridge of my nose. Not really trying to contour my nose so much, but I don't know, I like the way it looks slightly contoured. Not too much, because of course my nose is tiny as hell. But I did apply this, you know, in the Cupid's bow, a little bit on the forehead, and then the lower cheekbones. And I'm going to be setting it today with the LA Colors Cosmetics Contour Kit. And this shade is what I would call the banana shade. It's the yellow shade from it. And I'm also applying it with a damp beauty blender still. I always use a damp beauty blender. And then to set the powder, or to set the foundation with the powder, I'm using my new E52 brush from Morphe. And of course, I'm using my favorite, the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder. I'm applying this all over my face. I want to make sure that everything's nice and set before I start that contour. Now, from that contour kit, I am using the Cool Tone Colored Contour Color. And I'm using an angled brush from Bedalium. I think I'm more in love with the fact that this brush is peach, but it does work really great. So I'm just applying this on my nose to warm it up just a tad. And then of course I gotta make my forehead smaller, so we are bronzening up that forehead. I want to continue warming up the skin and bronzing it, so I'm using my MAC 135 brush. I love this because it gives a really nice diffused look. And I'm using the warmer colors from that contour kit. I'm actually using both of them, so yeah, feel free to. With my Sigma highlighting and taper brush, I am using the highlighter from that same kit. Look how beautiful it is. This contour kit is only $6.99. Like, this is definitely such a steal. So amazing. For my blush, I am using Too Faced Cosmetics Love Flush, Your Love is King. I wanted like a darker pink blush, so that's why I went ahead and went with it. So I am using an angled brush from Morphe, and what I did is I wet the brush first, and I'm using that punk color underneath the lower lash line, and then with that Morphe M411 brush, I'm smoking it out a tad bit. For my waterline eyeliner, I am using the Smashbox 3D Orchid. I am obsessed with the eyeliner. I love that you can just sharpen it before you apply it. And then for my eyeliner, I am using the same blackout color that I was using earlier. I wet the brush first, and then I applied it so that it looked a little bit more sleek. I did pop in some eyelash strips, and these are some like cheap Ardell ones that I got from like Walgreens. and I'm using my L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. I needed a lash fill really bad, so I needed to put some strips on. I wasn't gonna use the Candy K lip gloss from the Lip by Kylie lip kit, but I ended up changing my mind, so I did start off with Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics lip liner, and I used the color Trick, but then I went, you know, like I said, I changed my mind. I decided to use Candy K. And I'm just loving how neutral it is. I felt like with this dark eyeshadow, it complemented the look very well. So that is all. Thank you so much for watching my video, and hope you love it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you love my videos, give me a virtual like by sharing them. Thank you.